Since I was 10 and to my early 20s, I was constantly glued to my phone. I've lost a couple of years, hundreds of experiences, lots of acquaintances and friends, lots of travels and trips, due to me being so glued, so invested into my phone, seemingly for nothing. How much time do you spend on your phone? Are those only some of the very important things? Are those things that really matter? What do you usually do when you are somewhere on a bus, when you are sitting and don't know what to do, waiting for your order, somewhere in a city, waiting for a cab, for example? What do you do first minute that there is not a very certain thing to do? Now the first thing that comes to mind of billions of people worldwide is just to stick to the phone. Why? Because there are messengers, social medias, games, news, websites, and a lot of things that not just do get constant instant dopamine, but get really valuable information, as it seems, get communication with other people, get other social benefits that you can really get from technology and phones and social media. But aren't you really worried that you are glued too much to your phone? Probably if you click this video you have some kind of a worry. Am I spending too much time on my phone? Am I too dependent on it? Do I use it too often? Do I use it for things that don't really matter? Or maybe some people around you do say to you that maybe you use your phone too often. In any case, probably you would find it useful to see how you can replace this extensive large phone usage and your giant screen time number with something better, something perhaps more fun, applicable, and quite easy, frankly. I will be speaking as a person who was glued to the screen of a phone and computer for years, for almost a decade, and who really lost a lot of experiences to that device. And now I successfully overcame it. A lot of people notice that no, phone now isn't the first thing that I do, and I do most of my things, most of my tasks, and most of the fun things that I do in life, not in my phone overall, but in very different ways. Let's discuss that a bit. And the first thing that I would like you to do is to analyze what do you actually use your phone for. I despise that feature of an iPhone called screen time. I think it's not useful at all. I've made an entire video why it's the worst feature of an iPhone. You can click this video and watch it, but the idea is, if you know how to analyze this data, it can help you in the next process. It can help you to actually reduce this screen time. Knowing your number of screen time does not solve a problem for you, because you need a replacement. And so when you know how exactly do you use your phone, what do you use it for? Do you just scroll social medias? Do you message with people that you don't know too well? Do you browser? Do you look for news? Do you spend time in Google Maps, for example? It's it's a thing that I do often. I do not usually scroll social medias, but sometimes when I get my phone, I just click this maps icon, and then I start looking at different places, different cities. You know, it's quite a stereotypical thing to do, but that's probably the only thing where I can spend 20 or 30 minutes just being glued to the screen. So you need to know what is the thing that you are addicted to exactly. What is that thing that is your first resort, where you go each time when you feel that you don't have anything to do? When you are on public transport, what is the first thing you do? Do you check social medias, or do you go to a certain website? And what does it get you? Because often things that you get are really valuable. Information may be valuable. Knowing some use may be essential, especially if you are living in a turbulent time and region. Chatting with your friends or family may also be important. Getting to know what happens in life of your social circle may also be important. But the case is it really that important that you can spend hours and hours in a day looking through it? is TikTok also so important? I get it. TikTok is also great. It's great for knowing some new things. It's great to explore things. It's great to see things that you already like. I think that social medias that get you very different kinds of photos and videos that get you some ideas and different perspectives on life may also be valuable. But again, are you really willing to spend so much time in a day to it? And if not, then let's continue. So for example, imagine you are really in a very magnificent place, like you're on this beach, or you are in a mountain, or you are on a trip at city center, you are at a cafe, and suddenly the first thing you want to do is grab your phone and then all over again start scrolling. What if you don't want really to do this? What if you just do it impulsively? Have anything else to do? Have anything else physical with you that you can resort to? For me, it's always a notebook. I always carry a notebook with me, which I use for doing any task. I work with clients because of how I use my notebook. I plan trips through it, I plan finances, I plan my health, I do very different things. I write tweets and messages, I learn, I research, and there are dozens of different implications of what you can do. And I saw one lecture by Jack Dorsey, founder of Twitter, who said an idea that I used for a decade, but he put it into words in a very great way. I'll put that fragment here.
That has been most fundamental in my own growth and my own establishment of practices. So bring something out that you're going to view on a daily basis. And notes is something that I check every single day. I have a note for every single person that I encounter in the company. I have a note for every single thing that I'm doing. Every person that I talk with in the company, such as Sarah Fryer, our CFO at Square, has one specific note in my notepad, and anytime I need to talk to her about something, I write it down. And then, whenever I see her, I go through my entire list. Very, very simple memory device. But what I want to talk to you about today is a note which I call daily. So if you create a new note in your notepad, or something that you check on a daily basis, this is the most important thing. Name it daily, and then write the word do, colon, and then go down a few lines and write the word don't, colon. And the one thing I would ask you to do walking out of this is to, every single day, just for a week, wake up to this note, check it throughout the day, and then also, before you fall asleep, check to make sure that you did and you didn't do everything. So what you put in each one of these is you have a list of everything that you want to do every single day, and you have a list of things that you don't want to do. And the easiest way to add to the don'ts is to notice something that you never want to do again, and you just add that to it. Very, very simple.
Always have a notebook with you with certain things that you wrote that are important, and look through them. It should be your first resort. Look through things that are actually important to you, that are actual to you now at this period of life, at this day, at this week. It may be your to-do list, it may be a list of ideas, it may be a list of contacts, it may be a geographical map, it may be whatever. But the thing is, it should be something that you would be interested to look through over and over again instead of your phone. You may add things to it, you may write new things, new information. You may just look at it, you may structure it, you may add various ways of showing it in different ways. But also, it's not necessary for the thing to be a notebook. It may also be a map, book. It's very cool to read books, physical books, like on a public transport. It has been a very popular thing to do for decades, for centuries almost, but now it's more and more just phone games, social medias. Maybe sometimes it's better to read a book. I've actually made a guide on how to start reading poetry, because I love reading poetry, and it's very simple and very freeing and very free overall. So you can also click this video and watch it when you have some time, just listen it. It may also give you some ideas on what and how to read. Let's see, a notebook, a map, a magazine or a book, poetry. It may also be this list of things, and it may be much more. You can find a lot of things that may be cool to use, cool to do whenever you have this minute, and that way you will decrease your number of your screen time, your stage of being glued to your phone. You will be glued to your phone a lot less if you just replace this first action that you do with something else outside of your phone. It's probably the first thing. The second thing is to write overall all of the tasks that you do on your phone, because sometimes you are glued, not just because you are glued, but for a purpose. Sometimes you do work on your phone, sometimes you do some important communication, yes. And that way, write out what do you actually do and how can you replace it, how can you reduce it. Maybe some of those things may be planned in advance. Maybe some of those things may be done better and more efficiently from your computer. It often is the case. Maybe some of those things may be delegated if you do business. Maybe some of those things may be done in a handwritten way. I do a physical operating system. It's a real operating system that you can do tasks with. It is based on handwriting and on both my experience and centuries and centuries of human experience of doing handwritten notes in a very different ways. And it's also a technology, like our phone is technology. Handwriting and the way we write by hand is also a technology that develops for centuries, for millennia, and now I want to do something very practical with it. A system with which you can do almost any task, or at least help with many of the tasks that we usually do, especially work tasks, creative tasks, planning, researching, and much more. That is the thing that I do. For 10 years I've been mostly doing video production, media, films, etc. But it's based on how I done any of my tasks in this decade. I will probably do more detailed guides on how to spend less time on your phone, how to replace it, different use cases of how can you use handwritten notes to spend less time on your phone actually. But for now, I also advise you to visit that calendar link. I put it into the description. It's a short talk with me. We can get to know each other, and I can see what I can help you with. Whether there is something I can help you with. It may be based on handwritten technologies and on implementing them in life. It may also be based on making films, editing films, video production, because I am very experienced at it. For last 10 years I've been making films and videos, launching YouTube channels, launching short formats, doing different kinds of films, documentaries, advertisements, event videos, and much more. I became quite an expert in artificial intelligence in the last couple of years, and if you want to implement those technologies in your business or in your work, even if you are just working for a certain company, or if you do a business, or if you are a creative, I can help you to implement those technologies as well. In any case, I advise you to visit that Calendly link and let's talk, get to know each other. And now I've shared only a fraction of my experience of what worked for me. Thank you that you watched till the very end. Please subscribe, because there will be more of useful and fun videos to see here on this channel. And write a comment. What is your experience? What can you advise for people who want to be less glued to their phones? Are you glued to your phone? How do you spend your time in your phone? Whatever thoughts and ideas you have, please share them. It's always great to read, and I always reply. It's great to have comments, so you can write and I will reply to you as well. Goodbye, I will see you in the next videos.